Yo, what is going on, Who Dat Nation? Welcome into another live edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trace Girouard. Thank you so much for tuning in, no matter where you are or how you're watching. We greatly appreciate all of the Golden Gang for making us a part of their day. We got some interesting news. We got some rumors, some roster moves that we're going to discuss in today's video. We also got some crazy news that shakes up the NFC South. I'm sure you heard about it. Kirk Cousins. He's on the bench now. Falcons have an $180 million backup quarterback. Pretty damn fun if you ask me. But nothing is nearly as cool as Jason Hample getting the party started with a $50 super chat. He is answering the live poll question saying, which quarterback would you rather have, Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr? He says, I prefer neither Kirk nor Carr. They are both mediocre and low upside quarterbacks. Jason, you play football. You clearly know ball. I'm with you 100%. If it was up to me, I'd rather have neither of them. But you put a gun to my head, I would rather take Derek Carr. Call me crazy. He's on the roster. I'm going to be a little bit biased. And also, on top of that, $180 million contract versus $150 million contract. Way, way different in my personal opinion. So I'm just kind of in the camp of I wouldn't want either of them. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go with the guy who's on my roster, not the guy who's on the team that blew that 25-point Super Bowl leads roster. Really quick, got to give a shout-out to Game Time for sponsoring today's live show. Game Time is the best ticketing app in the whole wide world. And one of my favorite ways to spend the weekend is going to live events with Maddie or with my friends or family. And thanks to the Game Time app, I've actually been able to create so many new memories as the 2024 calendar year starts to wind down. And if you need a last-second holiday gift, tickets to see a loved one's favorite team, their favorite band, a comedian, a theater show, anything like that is a really, really safe option. And on top of that, you can get $20 off your first purchase if you use code CHATSPORTS on your first checkout. Terms do apply with that, but when you check out the Game Time app, they have a new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets that you know you're not interested in anyway. Now download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but once again, you can create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It's game time. Alrighty, so one of the discussion topics that we have today is going to be signing a pretty high-profile wide receiver in free agency. Do I think it's realistic? We'll have to find out. But I want to ask this question just to kind of get a gauge of where you guys are sitting at. How big of a need is wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints? Scale it 1 to 100. 1, literally, if you draft or add a wide receiver, it's the dumbest possible addition you could make. 100, yeah, you better focus on it. That better be the big-time addition, whether it's draft, free agency, trades, whatever. I see an 80. I see a 72 from Braylon Jackson. What's up, my man? 100 from Hayden Black. 95 from Jartavius. We got 75 from Cartel Bo. We got Robert Brown saying 90. We got Mick Swagger, not Mick Jagger, saying 85. Ja Kessler is going with 80. The Joker, 75. Drew, 90. Tommy, 70. Jerry G, 95. Happy Medium, 90. Ethan, 70. Jason says about an 87. I like that, Jason. I like that number a lot. Simply Archive says 86. Football Fanatics says 75. Rex says 65. Hellcat throwing out draft Isaiah Bond. I like that option. I like that option a lot. Oh, Nico Canada. A $20 super chat. Shout out to you, my friend. It's been a while, Nico. It's been a minute. I hope you've been doing well. I hope your family's doing great. Fun fact, in case you missed it, Nico, I didn't see you at the watch party this past week. Just turned 26, so shout out to you. Maddie and I had a lot of fun on my birthday. We went out, had some drinks with some friends. We went out and got dinner with my folks. It was a great weekend, a grand old time, if you will. But Nico, shout out to you. Give me a what's up. Hey, fist bump, Nico. Fist bump right there, brother. Appreciate you for your donation. Nico Canada, for the record, what? Okay, I was going to say one of the realest. He is the realest one that we have in the chat. He is an absolute legend. I'm a big fan of Nico. We always get to chop it up in the DMs, too. He hits me up on Instagram, sends me some funny posts and whatnot. So I'm always a fan of getting to hear from Nico. And I really just want to say thank you so much for your $20 donation, brother. I really, really do appreciate it. Nico, I hope you tune into the watch party on Monday Night Football because we got some fun stuff going on for you Monday night. Now, really quick, got to ask you this question. Because somebody just put in the chat, re-sign Chase Young. Well, would you bring him back? Yes or no? It's a perfect question. Perfect timing. Let me know. What would you bring back Chase Young? Are you interested in keeping him next season? He's on a 1-year contract. He will not be a part of the New Orleans Saints technically. He will be a free agent at the end of the season. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. A lot. It's a overwhelming yes. Resounding yes. I haven't seen a no. Caden says, give me a shout-out. Shout-out to maybe Caden to fine. Shout-out to you, brother. Terry, yes, I would, and draft Abdul Carter to go alongside with him. I don't hate that idea. I really like that idea, Terry. Time Man saying yes. Football, yes. Simply Archive, yes. Robert Brown, hell yes. Ben O'Connor, yes. Football Edits, yes. King Saucy says, King is in the building. What's up, King? We got King Saucy and Queen Courtney. So it looks like the whole royal table. The King Arthur's table is all here, which is pretty great. Drew Van Hooser says, please give me a shout-out. Shout-out to Drew Van Hooser. Football Fanatic, Ken, or maybe Caden to find. Both say yes. Time Man says yes. Nico shouting out Jerry G. Hayden saying, shout-out to the Nacogdoches, or the Natchitoches Parish Sheriff's Office. Say that 10 times fast. Cairo says yes. Akeem, yes. Quick Courtney! Yes, I did see your email. Queen Courtney, I will get back to you. I'm so sorry for not replying to that. Full transparency, I got in on Monday. I was very exhausted. I was really behind on some stuff because part of my other roles here is doing a lot of the social media stuff for the company. So I was behind on that stuff, just trying to catch up over the weekend. I will email you back, Queen Courtney. This is in regards to getting a Saints Now polo. So we're looking to possibly sell our first ever Saints Now polo. We gave away a hoodie on the watch party, but Queen Courtney, she's been a legend. She's been a supporter. So we're going to find a way to get her a Saints Now polo. Courtney, I will, I will email you as soon as we get off of the show, and I'll kind of tell you what the plan is here. I'm just, Courtney, so you know, I'm going to go and buy the polo out of my pocket because with how things are working out with the bosses, we have a lot of things happening right here. It's just going to be easier. I'm going to go pick up a polo for you. I'm going to have you pay me, and I will go pick it up. I will take care of it, and we'll get it all squared away. It's going to be very, very straightforward for you, Queen Courtney. Just wanted to kind of give you that update. At the bare minimum, I'm going to have you pay for shipping. You know, we'll figure out the cost of everything here in a little bit. I still got to go buy the polo and whatnot, but I'll email you later, Queen Courtney. Thank you for always being a supporter. All right, now, if you guys are ready for this season to just be over, you're ready for it to be done, man, I'm tired of the injuries. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of this season. It feels like it was 10 years ago when we were 2-0 and the best offense and the best defense in the league. Feels like that was a long time ago. If you're with me, like the video. Joey, when you're 5-9, yeah, you had the best O-line, you had the best running back, you had the best quarterback, you had the best defense, and here we are. So we're at 5-9 now, so not doing too hot. So if you're with me that you want this season just to be over, we can focus on the offseason, we can focus on the draft, free agency, we can focus on all that good stuff. Like this video right now. We're at 100 people watching, only 40 likes. We only have 40 likes. And if you're not going to like the video for the offseason to be over, like the video to get Alvin Kamara his 1,000 yards rushing. Rex, a $5 donation. Thanks you, brother. Thank you, brother. I forgot my football. I forgot the football whenever I got going live. Producer text. He said, Trizzy, I'm always cleaning up your messes. I will clean up another one, yet another one for you. So shout out to Rex. We'll get that super chat popped up in a moment. We're going to let Tex get all squared away, let him get all set up. We did our ad read and everything. So, yeah, so you're chilling. No, you're good. You're chilling. Just all we have to do is get going and get the content rolling. And then, yeah, no worries. Everyone show some love to producer Tex. He's blessed us with his presence. Type those Tex. Tex, little fun fact secret, little unknown secret to a lot of the people out there. Tex is a closet Saints fan. He won't admit it. He won't admit it to the rest of the Chat Sports company, but he is a closet Saints fan. I'm just going to put that out there. Do what you want with that information. He's a Saints fan. He also laughs at 28-3. He cracks up at 28-3. Just do what you want with that information. All right, secret time's over. So Tex is getting some love from Drew Van Hooser, from Time and the Buckeye, Cairo FPV. John Edwards says, hey, nice shooting, Tex. Jock Kessler says, Ashton Genty and Kendre Miller. That would be a fun little duo, wouldn't it? Terry Williams, Caden Define saying, shout out to Tex. And Richard saying, I'm waiting for the next 3 games with Spencer Rattler as the quarterback to see if he could be what we think he is. Hey, Richard, you and me both, brother. You and me both. Trace, what do you think about Drew Brees for general manager? No. It's the idea of it's fun. Quarterback coach, sure. You want to bring him in as like a personnel consultant? Why not? Not a general manager. Rex, honest opinion, Saints' overall defense this season. Look, the run defense is atrocious. They're really, really bad. Early on, they were really good at forcing turnovers. They were actually one of the highest producing turnover defenses. And then on top of that, they also were a team early on that was able to still give up a lot of yards. They would bend but not break. There was a stretch where now they couldn't do anything, couldn't stop a nosebleed. And now the sacks are starting to kind of come back. Coverage is a mess. You don't have Marshawn Lattimore. You don't have Paulson Adebo. Kool-Aid McKinstry's hurt now. Like, it's pretty much Alontae Taylor and who? Shamar Jean-Charles, Rico Payton, which I like both of those players, but this defense definitely needs some more cornerbacks. They definitely need to be better at stopping the run. They definitely need to be better at rushing the passer. So, in all, if I had to give them a numerical grade, like from school, like 100 is a perfect grade. 6, if you're less than a 70, you're failing. I'm gonna go with like a 67. Like they just haven't been good enough, in my opinion. Like just all in all, 67 might be a little. No, dude, we have 5 wins. 67 is fair. 67's fair, but shout out to you, Rex. Thank you for your first time super chat. Jason Hample, my friend. Would you draft Jackson Dart if he fell to the Saints? I wouldn't. Assuming he fell doesn't mean first or second or third round. I would be okay with it in the 3rd or 4th, to be totally honest. I do think there are bigger needs that you can address in the 3rd round and still get an impactful player. But let me put it this way. If we're in the same situation where Spencer Rattler, where it's like we're around pick 150 or something, and we have a few picks to spare, and Jackson Dart is there, I'm not opposed to cutting Jake Haener and drafting Jackson Dart. And then you have Derek Carr, Spencer Rattler, Jackson Dart. And then if you can have Rattler and Jackson Dart kind of duke it out to see who will be the guy for the future while Carr finishes out and you move on from him in the near future. So to answer your question, I wouldn't mind it. I would not prioritize it. But if it's kind of one of those things in round 4, round 5, you filled a few needs depending on how free agency goes, sure, why not? Why not? Like, I'm kind of in the camp of until the Saints have their guy or until they at least believe that they have their guy, don't add a quarterback. Or excuse me, until you do have your guy, you should add a quarterback. If you do think you have your guy in Spencer Rattler, quarterback maybe not necessarily an addition. However, I don't think Rattler's done enough to prove that just yet. A lot to prove these last 3 weeks. Jake Haener, I don't think is the guy by any means. So when it comes down to it, I think Jackson Dart in round 4, round 5, if you cut Haener, yeah, I wouldn't mind a young quarterback battle between Rattler and Dart. Be a lot of fun. All righty, we're going to get into the content. And Tex, we're going to start off with the 3rd segment. Yeah. So, no, you're good. So we're going to start with the 3rd segment. Yes, that's correct. So for segment 3, it's going to start off with that L3 into the subway in. And that's going to be, I'm going to just do my best to get to 8. I shouldn't have a problem, but just give me time cues and whatnot. Joey is going to highlight cut it. So just slack Joey whenever we're done. He's producing for a video for Marshall real quick, so he'd do it afterwards, but he's going to take care of a highlight cut. So just slack him. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Alrighty. Coolio. So you guys get to see how the sausage is made behind the scenes, coming up with a plan. It's pretty fun, isn't it? Diehard Saints fan says, can you see my other text? He wants to start a Who Dat chant for a pump up. It says, can I get a free shout out and happy birthday, my boy? How are you doing? Keep up the good work no one else can ever achieve. Diehard Saints fan, I appreciate you showing some love. Yeah, let's get a Who Dat chant going. Who Dat? Who Dat? Who Dat Saint? Go beat them Saints. Shout out to Diehard Saints fan. I appreciate the love. The birthday was great. Had a lot of fun. 26 years young, baby. So grind don't stop. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it grooving. But Diehard Saints fan, I just want to say thank you so much. And you got the people in the chat yelling Who Dat as well. So if you are a Diehard Saints fan, if you bleed black and gold, no matter how good or bad the season is, give me a Who Dat in the chat. Only real fans, for the record. I set this as real ones only. So you got to test the theory out. Are you a real one? If you're a real one, you'll be able to comment. Just saying. I'm just saying. All righty. There you go. Josh the Great, it's good to see you too, brother. Jerry G, thank you for the love. Producer Tex, whenever you are ready, my friend, we can get this party rocking and rolling, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. 3 segments in the can. We're going to have some fun. Yeah, we're going to start off with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He signed. You got a Louisiana legend, LSU legend, Super Bowl champion. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. All righty, let's talk about it. What's up? Yes. I'm going to go here. It's definitely out of the way over there. It's definitely out of the way over there. All righty. Producer Tex, always keeping it real, always keeping me accountable, and we're going to dive into it. So, Tex, whenever you are ready, my friend, let's talk about CEH. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Louisiana kid, is back home. What's happening, Saints fans? We just got a roster alert. The New Orleans Saints have signed former LSU legend and Super Bowl champion running back extraordinaire, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's bars right there. Kind of messed up on the last part of it, but that's bars right there. And we're going to break down everything you need to know around the signing, where he is, what he's doing, everything in between, updates on Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller, Jamal Williams, all of that and then some in today's show. But really quick, this is why you subscribe, because if there's any news around the New Orleans Saints, doesn't matter if the team is 5-9, doesn't matter if the team is on a Super Bowl run. We're going to cover it no matter what. So subscribe to the channel for 100% free content by Saints fans for Saints fans. And I actually put a new setting on the channel. You're only allowed to subscribe if you're a real one. And by a real one, I mean a real Saints fan. So if you keep it a buck, you keep it real, you're never throwing shiesties, no fugazis, no nonsense. This is your chance to test it out. It's like the naughty or nice list kind of thing here. Hit the sub button. If it turns gray, guess what? You're a real one. If it stays red, hate to break it to you, find another channel. Really quick, let's dive into it. So the New Orleans Saints were the team that actually broke the news around this update, saying that the Saints have signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the practice squad. So worth noting, it is a practice squad addition. They did have to waive the contract of Kendall Vickers, a defensive tackle who's also on the practice squad. Ian Rappaport, Nick Underhill, they were the first ones to report. I guess Nick Underhill was the first one to report it, but the team did announce it not too much after that. And in terms of the production for CEH over the last 4 seasons, it's been all right. I mean, it was really good off the rip. As a rookie, he won a lot of games for the Chiefs. He was really, really good. And in 2021, continued to be good, a little bit less opportunities, but still found the end zone a handful of times. And then in 2022, 2023, we really saw the usage start to dip. But back at LSU, I mean, when he helped the Tigers in 2019 win the national championship, he had over 1,400 yards, over 6.5 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns, and a total of 55 receptions. And I'm not going to sit here and say that CEH is going to come in and be your bell cow back. I'm not even going to sit here and say he's going to come in and have a massive role. I think this is purely just insurance. I think that this is an insurance move because Alvin Kamara, he's continuing to work through a groin adductor injury. Now, when it comes to CEH, I do think that he adds some pop and he adds some ability. And let's call a spade here. Last time we signed a guy who didn't work out in Kansas City, worked out pretty good here. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling, remember that? He was with Kansas City, kind of bouncing around, and now he's a Saint, and he's one of the best guys on the offense. So, maybe Andy Reid knows a thing or two about these guys. And honestly, Saints fans, you and I know a lot about CEH as well because of his time with the LSU Tigers. But we're not going to focus on the purple and gold. We're focusing on the black and gold today. Now, it is interesting when you look at the depth chart because Jordan Mims is on the roster. You also do have Kendre Miller on the depth chart as well, and he is going to be getting a lot more opportunities. And with Jordan Mims and Kendre Miller, I find it kind of interesting that they went ahead and added another running back because it makes me believe that they don't necessarily trust Jamal Williams. Makes me also believe that, maybe Jordan Mims, he's fine, but to be totally honest, I don't think he's been anything outrageously impressive. I'm not trying to knock the guy. I'm just trying to keep it real. That's what I do. I'm a real one. I keep it real. And, I do think with Alvin Kamara and that injury, it is scary. He is very, very close to achieving his first ever 1,000-yard rushing season. Right now, as it stands, he is 50 yards away. He has 950 total rushing yards. And he has been damn productive as a all-purpose back. Not just as a runner, not just as a pass catcher. He's done great in both aspects. He's actually one of the leading producers in all-purpose yards across the NFL before his injury. And when it comes down to Alvin Kamara, I really, really hope he can come back this season. I hope that he can get those final 50 yards. I will say this. Maybe it makes sense for him to sit against the Packers on Monday Night Football and then come back against the Raiders and then just, get those 50 yards against a bad football team at home. Call me crazy. I don't think that's a bad situation for AK. But I don't think CEH is going to have a huge, huge role. Again, he's starting off on the practice squad. That doesn't mean he's going to come in tomorrow and get real snaps. It doesn't mean that he's going to get a lot of run his first game. However, moving forward, maybe. We'll see. We have a lot more to discuss. We have a lot more to talk about, but really quick, got to give a big shout out and welcome home to the Baton Rouge native, CEH. Show him some love by typing his initials down in the comment section. It's pretty cool to see the homecoming happen. To be totally honest, I am kind of shocked that the Saints were like, screw it, let's go do this. Feels like a move to make the fans happy. When you're 5-9, if you can make the fans happy, you do. So, pretty cool homecoming story nonetheless. Now, really quick, before we dive into more about Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller, Jamal Williams, and everything in between, I got to give a shout out to Game Time. And one of my favorite ways to spend the weekends is going to live events with my friends, my family, or Maddie, who's my girlfriend. Thanks to Game Time, I've been able to create a lot of new memories. And if you're like me and you're still looking around for some last-second holiday gifts, Maddie, this is your chance to turn the show off and mute it for the next few seconds. I would highly recommend you check out the Game Time app because if you want to get a loved one tickets to their favorite band, their favorite comedian, their favorite sporting team, a theater event, whatever it is, Game Time will actually hook it up. If you use code CHATSPORTS, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply with that, for the record. But Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. Makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Reminder, terms do apply. But once again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, so we obviously know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's hopping into the depth chart. But I think that this cat right here needs a lot more reps. Kendre Miller, goodness gracious, this is a player that I want to see more of. He's been really, really good. There are fair concerns. I'm totally with you in the camp and in the regards and in the discussion that Kendre Miller just hasn't been around enough. He hasn't been good, or he hasn't been available. But when he has been around and when he's been given opportunities, he's been incredible. I mean, I feel like every single time when Kendre Miller took the field, especially in that 2-minute drill when Spencer Rattler almost won the game for the New Orleans Saints, he was a massive part of that. He was running really, really hard. He almost broke away multiple runs. I mean, it feels like every single time he touches the ball, could be a big play. And when you have a running back that can do that, it is massive for the team. And to be totally honest, it's no hate towards Jamaal Williams. I just don't think there's much juice there. We haven't seen him really do anything worth a damn since week 1 when he scored against the Panthers. Dope. That was sick. Awesome. Like, no, don't get me wrong. We just haven't seen much. We haven't seen a lot. And with Jamaal Williams, I do think he's a great team pride guy, and I think he's a good locker room guy. And that's not to say he hasn't been effective in terms of being available for special teams. He's been on kick returns. Him and Kendre Miller are your starting kick returners right now. I don't know if you knew that. Jamaal Williams, Kendre Miller are your kick returners. He was good in that aspect, but I just don't think he adds a lot of value as a running back. And again, it's not a knock to Jamaal Williams, but when the best thing that you can do is give you your social media team a few clips, I'm sorry, there's just not really much of a space for you when your team is 5-9. And again, I'm going to go back to this with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. God, say his name 10 times fast. I'm not going to expect a large role for him. I do think that he's around for the foreseeable future, but to be totally honest, I don't know. I do wonder if he will be back next season. I do wonder if he's going to come back and be a contributing member to the roster. I wonder if he's going to be the competition for running back 3. Because in my personal opinion, how it should go is Alvin Kamara's running back 1. This is for next season. Running back 1 for Alvin Kamara. Running back 2 is Kendre Miller. Running back 3, that's where you have the competition. So you go draft an Ashton Ginty, if you can. You draft a Cam Scatterbo. You draft an Ollie Gordon. There's a lot of running backs options that are really, really nice in the draft this year. I think you go get one of those types of guys. Or you have CH in the building. He was a first-round draft pick back in 2020, so not too long ago. Maybe, just maybe, he could be your other guy to take over when Kamara inevitably retires and is around for long term. My point being, I do still believe that running back is a big need for the offseason this year. I know that a lot of y'all are nah, you have Alvin Kamara. Why do we need him? We just extended him. Well, he's hurt, and who's your starting running back? Jamaal Williams. You want Jamaal Williams getting running back 1 snaps on a consistent basis for 17 games out of a season. I want to make sure that we're on the same page there, because that's not what I want. I want somebody who's going to come in and be a jolt of electricity to the offense. I want somebody who's going to come in and be effective. I'm not saying that Jamaal Williams isn't any of those things, but I am saying he hasn't lived up to the bill of being the leading touchdown scorer the season before he got signed to the Saints. He just hasn't lived up to it. Some of the usage has been bad. Some of this has been bad. Some of that's been bad. But I think running back is still in need. Is it a massive need? It is by no means the biggest priority. But the Saints, in my opinion, need to add to the running back room unless they decide that they want to opt with CEH as the running back 3 next year. So, again, a lot of speculation, we don't know what's going to happen here over the foreseeable future, but I do think that this is an insurance move. I think that the Saints may not have the news that they're necessarily wanting around Alvin Kamara's groin adductor injury. So we'll have to see what happens there. Anytime there's an update, anytime there's anything happening around the team, reminder, this is the place to be. So hit that sub button for 100% free Saints content by Saints fans for Saints fans. And y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Booyah. Really quick. The running back depth chart, I messed up. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. So the running back depth chart, it's supposed to be. No, you did. I just forgot to update it. Can you? Well, we're gonna have Joey highlight cut it. What I'm gonna have you do is, what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna update the depth chart. I'm gonna update it real quickly. Yeah, you're good. No. It was my fault. It was my fault. I didn't update it because Jordan Mims is not the running back 3 and Kendrick's not even. Yeah, see that? I done goofed. Here. I done goofed. It happens. Let me update this really quick. Sorry, gang. You guys get to see how the sausage is made, though. Isn't this pretty fun? Isn't this so fun? Alrighty. I'm gonna message Joey. Is there a way that you could like do a recording? I have an idea. Hold on. Let me update this before I. So I'm gonna go. Go depth chart. Isn't this fun, guys? Isn't this so dope? All right, so Kendra Miller here, and then we're gonna go. Oh, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let me just make sure this is right. Oh, yeah, dude. I appreciate. Yeah, dude. We had a blast. We definitely missed you. We definitely missed you. Okay, cool. I know what happened here. Okay, so I'm gonna message Joey. I'm gonna message him that it's done. Yeah. So can you push this across? And I'm gonna give Joey just a couple seconds. This is the updated depth chart. We have to switch this depth chart with the other one where Jordan Mims is RB3. And you should be good. Just cut the audio out, Joey. Thank you, buddy. Cool. We're good, Joey. You were good, brother. I made a mistake and had the wrong depth chart. We filmed a few seconds afterwards with the correct one. Could you splice that over? What the whole cut was like? How long was the cut? You think it was 11 minutes? So I'd say whole everything is in there. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah, we should be good. I just messaged him. He said he'll be able to get it. So before he posts, I just want to make all right before we get going. I just wanted to make sure he knew. All right, so we'll go to segment 1 now, which is the T Higgins, and then we'll finish with the segment 2. Sound good? Yeah, you're good. You're good. All righty. So that's the sausage being made behind the scenes. Isn't it sick? Isn't it dope? Yes. Cold open. I believe it's cold open. Yes, it is. Ah, had a big yawn. Yes, this one will be game time as well. All right, who do I think will be in the Super Bowl? I'm going to go Eagles, Ravens. Eagles, Ravens, Super Bowl. Monster's a Vikings fan. Chillin wants to trade Derek Carr. Well, Carr has a no trade clause, so unless he wants to waive that, can't trade him, unfortunately. Alrighty. Let's do it. Texer, we can rip these two. That way we can get on out of here. Hey, if you guys are in the chat arguing about Vikings and Saints fans, just stop. Just stop. It's like, just stop. But anyway, Mike Boyer, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty, Texer, whenever you're ready, we can party. Party all the time, party all the time. Whoa, party all the time. Alrighty. Lions versus Ravens, Super Bowl from Queen Courtney. I see. I love you too, Mike. I love you too, brother. Yes. Yes. He's with the team. He'll be a free agent this offseason. And that's kind of my whole thing is, I mean, we could, but does he want to come here? Yeah. Alrighty, let's party. We'll get after it. Saints fans, I'm going to give you a hard pause here, and we're going to get into it really quick in 3, 2. What's happening, Saints fans? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Really quick before we dive into today's program, I need to know, how big of a need do you think wide receiver is for the New Orleans Saints? If you think it's a 1, that means it's not a need. Don't even think about adding a wide receiver this offseason. If it's an 100, you're sounding the panic alarms, and we need to add a lot of wide receiver talent. So let me know where you stand, and we'll go ahead and get started with today's show. So I asked about how big of a wide receiver is and how big of a need it is because I wanted to discuss T. Higgins on today's program and why the Saints pretty much have to sign him this offseason. And in case you didn't know, T. Higgins is going to be a free agent this offseason. He is going to be the number 1 free agent more than likely. He's going to be very highly sought after. But, for my personal opinion, I think that T. Higgins would be an excellent addition to the New Orleans Saints. And about to tell you why over the next few minutes. Now, once again, we are seeing the New Orleans Saints suffer from having a low amount of depth in the wide receiver room. And there's been a lack of depth in the wide receiver room this year. You have a lot of high-end talent. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, they're very talented players. Don't get me wrong. I love them. They're great. But we're getting exposed. And we're getting exposed to how thin this wide receiver group is. Like, do you remember 2020, 2021? When Marquez Callaway and Traquan Smith were your leading receivers? Not ideal. It's just not ideal. Right now, as it stands, Alvin Kamara leads the Saints in receiving right now. Not ideal. And when it comes to the Saints passing offense, it's not like they're not trying. I mean, they're throwing the ball 54.5%. It's not very high in terms of league averages or anything, but they're trying. Part of the reason this number's so low is because you don't have a lot of wide receivers available. Outside of Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Mason Tipton has been unreliable. Bub Means, he's on IR. He's been hurt. Cedric Wilson, the best highlight he's had as a Saint is throwing a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. It's not a knock on any of these guys. It's just we don't have high-end depth. And when you look at these numbers, this needs to change. Teams that make the playoffs, teams that win Super Bowls, they don't have this kind of production. The Saints need another playmaker. They need somebody who's not just going to be another weapon and another target. They need a playmaker. They need somebody who's going to take the top off, who's going to change games, somebody that's going to completely correct the course of this offense. Not completely correct it, but correct this offense. Because once Chris Olave was gone and Rashid Shaheed was gone, this offense just was uninspiring. And T. Higgins, let me tell you what, he is a very inspiring player. I mean, over the course of the last few seasons, he's been damn good. I mean, 13.4 yards per catch in 2024, over 15 yards per catch in 2023, almost 14 yards per catch in 2022, and in 2021, 14.7. I just think that T. Higgins is a very talented wide receiver. Oh, and by the way, he also scores a lot of points. 6 touchdowns, 5, 7, 6. This is a guy who early in his career was tested and early in his career proved that he could get the job done. And he was been a perfect complement to Jamar Chase. And for Joe Burrow, I think that T. Higgins would be a perfect Saints wide receiver target. Guys, he's only 25 years old. And look at the size profile for him. 6'4", 219 pounds. Here in a second, we're going to show you a graphic of the measurables for all of the players in the wide receiver room for the New Orleans Saints. And I want you to just remember this 6'4", 219 number. It's going to shock you. But really quick, would you sign T. Higgins? Just give me a sign or a pass. Understanding it's going to be expensive. We're going to talk about finances in a minute. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We're Saints fans. We have to talk about the financials. But let me know. Would you sign or pass on T. Higgins? So you guys remember when I told you to pay attention to T. Higgins' size profile, 6'4", 219? Well, That would be the largest human being in the wide receiver room. Chris Olave, 6 foot, 187. Rashid Shaheed, not much, or he's the same height, a little smaller. Cedric Wilson, sure, he's a little taller, he's a little bit bigger. Bub Means, it's actually pretty close size profile to Michael Thomas. Fun fact, in case you didn't know that. I want to see more from him. He just haven't gotten to see a lot because of injuries and just being low on the depth chart. Mason Tipton, not knocking him, but 5'11", 187 pounds. He just was not that inspiring when he got some run in the regular season. Now, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I was actually shocked, and I had to double and triple check this. MVS is the largest player in the wide receiver room. And he's only about 20, 30 pounds lighter than Juwan Johnson. Same height, which I thought was extremely wild. Like, MVS, I think of him as a burner, as a fast guy. You would think he's a little bit skinnier on the smaller end, like Rashid. But it's pretty clear when you look at this, the Saints have speed. They have a lot of it. They got a lot of players who can burn you downfield. I mean, quite frankly, Chris Olave, I think like he gets very, very disrespected in terms of his speed. He's fast as hell. Rashid Shaheed, he's literally the need for speed. Like, yeah, we're good there. Bub Means, I'm not going to sit and say he's the fastest guy I've ever seen, but he's an athletic freak. So when it comes down to it, the New Orleans Saints, they have speed. They need size and they need strength. Giggity. They need a player, like in my opinion, they need somebody to fill that Michael Thomas role. Not Michael Thomas. Don't go sign him. That's not what I'm saying. But that role of a competitive, physical, big-bodied wide receiver who will win the 50-50 balls, who can take a hit, who can be destructive when they have the ball in their hands. That right there is what the New Orleans Saints need. And in case you didn't know, T. Higgins, I have a belief that this information, there's a reason behind it. He parted ways with his agent. And if you remember, T. Higgins was looking for a long-term contract. He's been seeking years. He's getting the money, but he's seeking the years. And for the Cincinnati Bengals, they haven't been able to give him extended years because they have to figure out what they're doing with Jamar Chase. They had to figure out what they're doing with Joe Burrow. Like, there was a lot of things in the Cincinnati Bengals. They are a lot of things. Big spenders is not one of them. They had a lot of decisions to make. They decided to put T. Higgins on the franchise tag. I think he's okay with that. He's making a good amount of money, but I think that he would rather go get a longer contract than go be on another franchise tag year. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say this is going to be a free move whatsoever. It's going to be expensive. T. Higgins will cost you a pretty penny, as he should. A good player is worth a good investment, and he would be worth the investment. When it comes to T. Higgins, he is a player that fits so many voids that the New Orleans Saints offense has. And in my personal opinion, whether it's T. Higgins, whether it's Tedero McMillan, whether it's Luther Burden, I don't care who it is. Wide receiver is a top need for the New Orleans Saints. I said I don't care. I do have opinions. I do actually think that the Saints should try to avoid going for a speedster. I think that they need to go get a guy that fits the A.J. Brown, the DK Metcalf type mold. Like, that's what I want. I want a guy who's physical, that guy that's going to win the 50-50 balls, a guy that's a competitor. And I'm not saying that T. Higgins is all of those things compared to A.J. Brown and whatnot, but he would be the biggest wide receiver on the depth chart. Just putting that out there. Now, really quick reminder, subscribe for Saints content. If you guys want more updates, if you want more content by Saints fans, for Saints fans, this is the channel to be in. You know, I will say this. If T. Higgins signs, we're going to be going crazy. We're going to be going live. We're going to be having a lot of fun. And we're going to be going live the first day of free agency. We're going to be going live throughout the draft. This is not just during the season. You check in, you check out. No. This is a year-round, we got you covered. Free subscription. So lock us in for more Saints content every single day, and that way you can get more information around the black and gold. Now, really quick, I want to say thank you to today's presenting sponsor, and it is Game Time. Game Time is my favorite ticketing app, and I'm here to tell you, fellas, They're here to bail you out of being a last-minute Christmas gift shopper just like me. So if any of my friends or family are listening or watching this show, I'm just going to go ahead and ask that you mute it until you see me back on screen. One of my favorite ways to spend the weekend and to spend the holidays is just spending quality time with my loved ones. And you can spend quality time and create some quality memories with the Game Time app. And you can actually get $20 off your first purchase if you use code CHATSPORTS. Terms do apply. But Game Time, they have a new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. And you can use Game Time Picks to filter out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Now, if you're looking to go see Cody Johnson, you want to go to the Super Bowl, you want to go see Raiders versus Saints, the Pelicans. I know that New Orleans sports right now, they're not all that great. But I am here to tell you, you can still go have a lot of fun and still create some memories if you use code CHATSPORTS when you check out. Terms do apply. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It's game time. Now, really quick, why do the Saints need to sign T. Higgins? Let's just kind of go through the spark notes of this. He is a perfect fit for a big need. Wide receiver, in my opinion, is a priority need this offseason. The Saints must prioritize adding wide receiver talent. And I'm not just saying adding a big playmaker like a T. Higgins. Hit another guy in the draft. Go get another one. I don't care. I want high-end talent. I want a lot of wide receivers. I'm tired of my wide receivers being made up of players that we just signed off the street 2 weeks ago in the practice squad. Call me crazy, but how many teams do you know that have won a Super Bowl that didn't have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes that had no wide receiver talent? It's hard to think of a list of them. Another one. He's young but experienced. Guys, T. Higgins has experience. He's played in a Super Bowl. He's played in the depths of the playoffs. He's played against the league's best. He was a part of the league's best at one point in time. I think that he has really good experience. I think he has phenomenal experience, actually. And he's only 25 years old. Like, you could go and sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal or something and keep him around for a while. Like, if T. Higgins is wanting the years more than the money, that's a really good option for the Saints. I'm just saying. I think that it would make a lot of sense. Again, it's going to be expensive, but I don't know if the Bengals are going to be able to afford both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And that's why I think when the Bengals have to pay Jamar Chase, this could be an opportunity for the Saints to pounce and go and get T. Higgins. Again, the Bengals have to pay their wide receiver one. There's no question about it. Like, if I'm Cincinnati, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are always here and they're always happy. T. Higgins might be the guy who gets forgotten. I'm not a guy who likes to go get sloppy seconds, but what about shiny seconds? I feel like that's pretty nice. And again, he's a complimentary player. He's played alongside Jamar Chase really well. And Jamar is a true wide receiver one. He is a dominant alpha wide receiver. T. Higgins has been a really nice compliment to him. He's filled in really nicely alongside him. So I don't think that this is you sign T. Higgins and he immediately is already higher up on the totem pole than Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. I think that it's like 1A and 1B, and you really could go back and forth between both guys. And I just think that he could be a really good player that fits exactly what the Saints are missing, and you could possibly get him for a steal because he may not be able to go back to his original team. Ultimately, it comes down to this. It takes two to tango. You can't sign T. Higgins without T. Higgins wanting to sign here. So that's kind of the one caveat here. Or not one, there's a few. But that's a big caveat for me. If you're able to bring in T. Higgins and he's interested, I think the Saints would be stupid to not do it. Long term, I think it would be stupid not to do it. I mean, you get, Spencer Rattler or Derek Carr, another wide receiver that's really, really good? Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Come on now. That's a great idea. I think it just comes down to whether or not he wants to come to New Orleans. I think it also comes down to whether or not the Saints can bid for him. It's a lot of things to figure out. It's very, very, we're not even in the offseason. Free agency hasn't opened. We still got a very long time before any of this happens, but I just think that if the Saints can make it happen, they have to at least try. Now, really quick, thank you so much for watching. Before you guys head on out of here, just a friendly reminder to subscribe. Support the show by liking the video. Get down in the comments section, share your thoughts. If you think I'm an idiot, or hey, if you think I'm the best looking guy you've ever seen, I know my mom and my girlfriend feel that way, so you have to fight them for it. But you guys can get down in the comments section, share your thoughts on the show. Subscribe to the channel. We always greatly appreciate those of you guys who join our Golden Gang. So Who Dat Nation, y'all stay golden, and we will see you next time. Booyah. All righty. Here we go. Yes, segment 2. 3-1-2. Yeah, and so for reporting and stuff, I don't know if they did it. Just check it, and if they didn't, just throw it in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, fellas. I had to pop my back before we get into this last one. It hurt. My back is killing me from carrying the weight of being the best Saints content creator out there. My back's killing me, dude. Ugh. Just kidding. There's a lot of great content creators. Yep. So what we're going to do here, guys, did you hear the news? Kirk Cousins. He's gone. Not gone. He's on the bench, but point being. We're going to talk about him because he's gotten Kirk Cousins. Hey, if you guys want to help me laugh at the Falcons real quick, can you just give me a ha-ha? Give me a ha-ha. Let's ha-ha. Let's get like Nelson from, is it Nelson? Is that what his name is from Simpsons? Nelson, is that his name? Ha-ha, 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 ha-ha. That's funny. Yep. Yeah. So it has it's the video of me laughing at Kirk Cousins. That's what it is. Yeah. Since it's the first one, if we have a mistake on it, just either fix it post or run it, and we'll be able to get it good. And we can come back and forth until we got it. Really quick. So Joey's destroying the video. I just want to make sure he got the depth chart right. Because if not, then I'm gonna fist fight him. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So we're good. Hey, Saints fans, keep giving me those ha-has in the chat. Oh, he nailed it. Hell yeah. Good stuff. All righty. Yep. So, real quick, in case you didn't know, Kirk Cousins, he got benched. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys my initial reaction. We're going to have some fun, and then I'm going to dive into it really quick. So Who Dat Nation, let me take a sip of water, and we'll be good to go. All righty. It's about, what, 30 seconds? Something like that? It's like 38 or something? Okay, cool. I'll keep a timer. And then just pop me back up if you need to come back to this, so I have this. I always keep it real. So just be like, hey, look, that happened whenever you signed him. I've been keeping it real since then. People have been trying to clown me. Hey, if you want real content by real fans for real fans, this is the place to be, kind of thing. That's kind of the thought process. So that's just go to the video. We'll go to the sub, and then we're just gonna keep rolling right into it. Yep. I always keep it real. Subscribe to Saints now. Yeah. You're good. Good. All righty. We're going to dive into it. Keep the ha-has going. Kirk Cousins, he has been benched.
The Falcons offseason, it just gets better. I know my face is as red as this logo, but I just can't control myself. You could have drafted Jaden Daniels. You could have had Justin Fields. Instead, you're paying Kirk Cousins $180 million. That is just too damn good, man. I just can't believe it.
Hey, I've been keeping it real ever since the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins. I posted that back months ago. And Falcons fans have been clowning me, and other NFL fans have been clowning me. People have been trying to say, Trace, you're just doing this for clicks. No, I keep it real, man. I'm a diehard Saints fan, and I'm never going to waver on my opinion. So if you want diehard Saints fan, that's 100% real, from a real one, for real fans, then I highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Now, really quick, let's dive into today's show. We're going to discuss some NFL news that impacts the Saints, because in case you couldn't tell, this video is about Kirk Cousins getting benched, and the Falcons, boy, oh boy, did they Falcon hard. Now, there is a new quarterback in Atlanta. The Falcons, they have opted to bench Kirk Cousins for Michael Penix after an absolutely terrible, horrible, awful stretch over the past few weeks. And even despite getting a win over the Raiders, oh my God, the Falcons looked incompetent. It was a terrible game. And to be totally honest, I'm kind of in the camp of there's a lot of issues. And I just don't know if look at it. The Falcons, they have a lot of problems here. There's a lot of things that they have to fix. Kirk Cousins is not responsible for their defense giving up 24.5 points per game. Kirk Cousins is not responsible for their defense not being able to get sacks. Kirk Cousins is not responsible for them not being able to get pressures on the quarterback. Kirk Cousins has not been the problem for the fact that the red zone defense is terrible. Offensively, sure, Kirk is a bit to blame. But I'm also here to tell you right now, I'm not sold that an injury-prone 24-year-old rookie is going to fix the endless problems that the Atlanta Falcons have. I mean, they knew that the pass rush was a problem. They did not draft Jared Verse. They did not add a pass rusher early on. They went and got Ruka Rororo, who I really liked out of Clemson. But you had opportunities to add pass rushers. So, credit to them. They traded for Matthew Judon, and their sack production's actually worse than it was last year. Pretty wild. Now, you clicked on the video because the thumbnail said Kirk Cousins to New Orleans. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't want it to happen. I think it would be a terrible idea for it to happen. But, hey, the nerds out in Vegas, the odds makers, have Kirk Cousins next team plus 600 odds for the New Orleans Saints. And, he listed a handful of teams in here, and I was actually shocked to see the New Orleans Saints listed. Again, I don't think it makes any sense. I think it's a stupid idea. And when it comes down to it, we're going to show you guys what exactly the full list looked like, and I'm going to show you what the other 5 teams were on that list. But the Saints were like the 3rd highest, 4th highest odds for Kirk Cousins. We're going to dive into it here in just a moment. Really quick, I got to tell you guys about Tushy, today's presenting sponsor. And, a household of holiday guests, it's always a lot of fun until you realize, they're going to be destroying your bathroom. But you can give your toilet a fighting chance, and you can keep that hiney shiny with Tushy bidets. I love my Tushy, and it took me less than 10 minutes to install. Tushy bidets help clean up a crappy situation, and although it might seem like a gag gift, it will truly keep your guests and yourself from gagging when they walk into your bathroom. It's also so easy to use and set up. It took less than 10 minutes to install, and all you have to do is you sit down, you do your business, and then you turn a knob for a refreshing stream of clean water. And once you're done, you simply pat dry with toilet paper. And fun fact, those who have made the switch to Tushy actually use up to 80% less toilet paper. So no more clogged toilets, no more spending a bunch of money on TP. So save your money and your ass at the same time. Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. Go to hellotushy.com/chat now to grab your deal before it's gone. And don't forget to give us a shout out while you're there and let them know that Saints Now by Chat Sports sent you. Go to hellotushy.com/chat for the best gift this holiday season. The link is in the comments and description of this video. Now, those next team odds, like I promised just a moment ago, the New Orleans Saints sit at the 4th highest odds. The Titans at plus 400. Seahawks plus 450. Browns plus 500. I actually really think the Browns are a good fit for Kirk Cousins. But then they have the Giants at plus 800. The Raiders at plus 900. And there's a handful of teams, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, the Saints are listed, and they are listed high. And to be totally honest, getting it back to my personal opinions, I hope you guys lasted through the ad read and stuff, because if you clicked on the video and you're like, this is clickbait, this is nonsense, F you, Trace, this channel sucks, it's because you didn't watch more than, 2 minutes of the video. I want nothing to do with Kirk Cousins. Let me make this explicitly and obviously and as clear as I possibly can make it. I, Trace Girouard, the host of Saints Now by Chat Sports, want nothing, zero, nada, not 1 ounce of anything to do with Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. I want none of it. I don't want him to be my quarterback. I don't think he should be the quarterback. I don't think he will be the quarterback. But let's look at the production. Why do I not want him? Because he's been atrocious, fellas. This year, he already has the highest amount of interceptions over the course of his career. 3,500 yards, sure, that's fine. I mean, do we remember that one game against the Bucs when he threw for almost 500 yards? Like, you can get some good stuff out of Kirk. Some of this, I think, is the Falcons' fault. A large majority of this, I think, is Kirk Cousins' fault. And I just don't think that Kirk Cousins makes a lot of sense to be the next Saints quarterback. And to be totally honest, there's just really no reason to look at this idea any further. We could go into the financials. We could go into, well, what would it cost to be a trade? No. We're not gonna. We're not even going to tease the idea. We're not going to entertain it. We're not going to have fun with it because the Saints will not go from Derek Carr to Kirk Cousins. You really believe, because I do not think, and if you do, I'm here to tell you it's not happening. If you believe that the Saints are going to go from an old $150 million quarterback to an old $180 million quarterback, $30 million more for the record, you're crazy. That is not happening. The Saints will not do it. The Saints should not do it. And if they do, oh my God, I think I might just turn in my Saints fan card. But, ultimately, I laughed really, really hard when the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins. I thought it was a terrible idea. I mean, he's 34, 35 years old when he got signed. He's coming off an Achilles injury. The Falcons, as we all know, are a horrendously bad organization. They're a poverty franchise. That's why you see it right there. So help me get like Nelson from The Simpsons. Ha, 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 and laugh at the Atlanta Falcons because, God, they are just a poverty franchise. I get it. They're higher up in the NFC South rankings, but, I mean, it only took a historically bad year for the Saints for them to do that. Now, let's talk about the agenda. Because for the rest of this video, I'm not talking Kirk. I'm talking about the Saints. I'm talking about what really could happen. I think that Spencer Rattler showed a lot of growth from those 3 starts when Derek Carr was dealing with the oblique injury to last week in the second half of the Saints versus Commanders game. Spencer Rattler showed so much improvement. Didn't get sacked once, protected the football well, made smart reads. Sure, the completion percentage wasn't amazing, but when it came down to it and when you needed him to be clutch, he was. He was very clutch. And you can sit here and say, well, that 2-point conversion, he didn't have a good ball. Well, if you look back and you watch it zoomed in, sure, Kevin Austin Jr. was open in the back if he holds on to it a half second more. But Juwan Johnson, it hit him in the hands. Spencer Rattler did his part. He did his job. And to be totally honest, I could see the New Orleans Saints opting to keep Derek Carr rather than cutting him. There's been a big topic of discussion, some of it's been by me, that if you make Derek Carr a post-June 1 cut, if you designate him as a post-June 1 release, then you actually save $30 million in cap space this year. And I could see the Saints opting to not do that. They would actually restructure Derek Carr, and they would let Spencer Rattler just stay in the oven a little bit longer because, in my personal opinion, look, if Derek Carr goes in and he plays well and you have a bunch of wins, cool. That's good. You're winning football games. If he doesn't, you have Spencer Rattler waiting. You have the fan base calling for him. And if we know anything about Saints fans, is that they are very opinionated and they're going to make their voices heard. So I think when it comes down to Spencer Rattler, I really like what I saw, but I want to see him get in the oven just a little longer. I want to see the sides get a little bit more well done. I want a little bit more cooked internally. I want that internal temperature to go up a little bit more. I think he's getting there. I don't think he's ready to start a full season yet, and that's okay. It's okay for the record. But you know what? If all else fails, Derek Carr ain't it, Spencer Rattler ain't it, we're not doing the agenda. We're fulfilling the prophecy. We're bringing Manning back to Louisiana. You're telling me you want nothing to do with Arch? Come on now. And I am here to tell you this. He is listed as a 2026 draft, or not listed. He's eligible to get drafted in 2026. But sources tell my people, that Arch Manning might actually stay another year and wait to get drafted until 2027. So if you're like, Tracy's, no, you want to yell at me, you want to laugh, whatever. I don't care. You can sound off and show your hate. You can show your love, whatever you want. You're entitled to do that. But in a few years, don't be mad if I say I told you so. If all else fails, the agenda is done. The car is out of gas. It's time to fulfill the prophecy and bring Arch Manning back to Louisiana. Just having a little bit of fun with this video, having a little bit of fun with the end of this. I mean, come on. This is 2 years down the road. Yeah, I don't care. Producer text. I need you to name me one quarterback in the National Football League that has the last name Manning. That was terrible. Thank you.
None.
Thank you. I would say the silence was enough, but him saying none, yeah. Archie for the Saints wasn't amazing. Wasn't anything to go right home about. But you're telling me Payton, you're telling me Eli, you wouldn't want a Manning come on. Fulfill the prophecy if all else fails. If you guys want to get more content, you want to get more updates around the New Orleans Saints, I post on my social medias all the time. I'm really trying to step up my social media game for you guys because I love talking about the Saints, and I know y'all also love talking about it. So I'm over here to take all the heat. I'm over here to get laughed at, made fun of on the internet, so that way we can all have some fun and we can have a good little discourse about the black and gold. So Saints fans, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys on social media. I hope you guys hit me up on all 3 platforms. Send me a DM. Get in the comment section. I love chopping it up, and I love responding to you guys. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time. Booyah! 2 Super Chats. 2 Super Chats. It'd be like that. I started it. I got it right before because I saw a 50 when we first rolled. All right, Queen Courtney. All right, we're popping up those Super Chats. Yeah, you're good. Kirko Pico Chains. Queen Courtney. I mean, dude, it's... Yeah, I'd say it's flipped. I think he has 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Is that right? Is that what the graphic said? Please tell me I had it right on the graphic. 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Please tell me I had that right. Please tell me I didn't mess that up. Yeah, no, I got it. 18. Yeah, we're good. Life's good. Life's good. Oh, I forgot to mention his QBR. It's okay. Life's good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Queen Courtney, I'm actually typing out an email to you right now. So check your email here in a moment. I want to be able to get you your things. So I'm going to send this to you here in just 1 second. Let me just wait. So I'm going to keep this right here. So Queen Courtney, you and I, we're having this conversation right now. Oh, yeah? Man, see? Go over here, Sperry. Hey, Sperry. Your hair. It pisses me off. I don't like your hair, Sperry. Just joking around. Alrighty, Courtney. I just emailed you back, girl. Just emailed you back. There you go. Alrighty, Courtney. Thank you so much for your email. Thank you for always supporting the show. Kirko Pico Chains. I'm with you on that. Remember when they were all swag surfing? That was funny. That didn't last long. Derek, Mason Graham from Michigan, the defensive tackle, or Tanoh McMillan from Arizona. Derek, so I will tell you right now, I'm in the process of working on a Tanoh McMillan jersey swap, a Mason Graham jersey swap, and then a few other jersey swaps. I got it. Yeah, I got you. So we're gonna have a bunch of good draft content for you this offseason. Like, just so you know as well, we've hired 6-7 new guys here. one of them is going to be my buddy. One of those guys is going to be my homie. So we won't have to make producer Tex come in and hang out with us all the time. He doesn't have to anymore. He gets relieved of all his other duties. I don't know. Brett told me that I will get some help, so that'll be sick. So really quick, thank you guys. Thank y'all. Like truly, without y'all, we wouldn't be able to get the extra help and the extra love that the channel's been able to get recently. And y'all are a big part of that. You guys are the big reason why we're able to get as much content as we do. We're the big reason we're able to grow and expand as much as we do. So I just got to say thank you so much. Queen Courtney, I emailed you back. I'll look for your response here tonight. And for everyone else, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you guys have a great weekend, great week, and all that fun stuff. But without further ado, we're going to sign. Actually, give me 2 more minutes, Tex. I want to see what this video is sitting at here. Because once it ends, then we'll be chilling. All righty. We're going to hang out for just another 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Selfishly, I'm just trying to see if the video is fetty. Okay, Courtney, I got your email. Queen Courtney, without skipping a beat, email response says, I shot you an email back, and I see it. Boom. I mean, this is why Queen Courtney's the best. By the way, Courtney, how's your work going? How's the new job going? I've been curious to see how life's been treating you recently. How are you and the family? I want to make sure everything's good. We miss you in Dallas. We miss you in McKinney. We miss you in the great state of Tejas. But, hey, I also understand you got to go work and you got to do your own thing. So, Courtney, really do thank you for always being a supporter. But, just want to make sure everything's good with you guys and your life's going well as, too. I like to make my blessings other people's blessings as well. I did have a good birthday, Chillin. Thank you so much for asking. It means the world that you asked. Had a lot of fun. Went to get some drinks. Went and saw my family. Spent some time with my folks. It was awesome. So this is, producer Tex. Fun fact, he is a Texas Longhorns alum. Proud Texas Longhorn alum.
I would argue a knowledgeable alum and knowledgeable college football fan.
Damn straight. So, Tex, let's pop this one up. Let's see how many people want Arch. Who wants Arch? Who wants to fulfill the prophecy? Who wants to fulfill the prophecy? I love it. Monica says Rattler is better than Arch. Well, statistically, Rattler does have more yards and touchdowns in the NFL, but yes. I mean, I don't know, dude. Spencer Rattler does have a very high ceiling, but Arch, he's a Manning. The worst Manning won multiple Super Bowls. The worst Manning in the recent history won multiple Super Bowls. So, Yeah, against the GOAT nonetheless. Queen Courtney saying, I think Arch is overhyped right now. I do think there is a little bit of an overhype because he hasn't been a full-time starter. To his credit, though, when he comes in, Tex, I'm sure you can agree with this. He comes in and makes a massive impact, but then just isn't on the field anymore. And that's fine. It's okay, but ultimately, Quinn Ewers is the starting quarterback right now. They're not just going to, in the middle of the season as a top 3 team, They're not just going to make a change, No. So if you need a run or if you need a little jolt of energy on a certain play, sure. Arch is a good idea, but
he scored the touchdown against A&M.
He did.
For the pylon.
I was watching that. I was watching that with Jeremy.
I was like, that's a touchdown.
Oh my God, that was a crazy play. That was a crazy play. All right, we're gonna hop on out of here. Tex has some really fun date plans with his girlfriend. So everyone, hey, Tex, congrats on the text tonight. Congrats on the birthday text tonight, brother. Have a good night, brother. I hope you have a good evening. Saints fans, I hope y'all have an evening. For producer Tex, I'm your host, Trace. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.